Hello art journalists, this is Natalie from NK Design. I am determined to improve my drawing skills. I don't know about you, but drawing faces scares me. I'm not spilling a secret if I tell you that I use reference to draw my faces. I usually find them on Pinterest. The face never turns out exactly as the picture looks like, but it helps me to determine where the eyes go and the mouth, and also how the shadows work. Even the masters learned by copying, so why shouldn't we? This page was certainly not a fast project. Overall, this took me about an hour and 40 minutes. Some things just can't be rushed. I have prepped my page with masking tape and gesso and started sketching the face lightly with a grey lead pencil. I'm drawing what is called a 3/4 face. The face is slightly turned away from the viewer. First, I've drawn an oval and then started to divide the face up in the proportions where the nose and eyes and mouth are positioned. As you can see, I slightly curved the lines because your face is not flat, is it? I then sketch in the eyes, the nose and the mouth, and also the girl's right ear. And I don't want her to appear naked, so I give her some clothing. And of course, she has to have some hair. Now that I've roughly sketched in the face, I start with the background. I use a tissue paper that I stamped myself with black ink and a variety of stamps. I glue it on with Liquitex matte medium and a big brush. To add some texture, I'm using heavy gesso white from Art Basics and a Crafters Workshop stencil called Daisy Clusters. It's TCW155. After that is thoroughly dry, I grab my Inktense blocks and add some color to the background. I then activate it with a brush loaded with water. Because I don't want the background to be so dominant, I knock it back with a little bit of Liquitex white gesso. And now the scary part starts. I'm adding color to the face. I start with a burnt umber, and by the way, I'm using Ceramcoat acrylic paints because they dry completely matte and you can go over them with any kinds of markers and also colored pencils. As you can see, I'm not being too precise because you will be covering up a lot of that dark color with the flash color and then with the highlights as well. And now I move on to the flesh color, and I'm not too worried if the dark umber is dry or not. It just blends with the flesh color that I'm using now. For the highlights, I'm not using a white or a titanium white, it's called Oyster white. I just like that it's a little bit softer as a normal stark titanium white. I switch back and forth until I'm happy with the basic shading. Whoopsie, I totally forgot the ear. Let's do that one too. And the hair better get some color as well. The tone the color I'm using for that is the burnt amber. And for the lighter tones, it's called flash tan and spice tan. Then for the highlights I use the Oyster white. For the lips, I'm using coral and deep sea coral. I will draw in more details with the colored pencils later. I'm also using a little bit of this color for the cheeks. Here I'm using the Oyster white for the eyeballs and also to start adding some highlights here and there. I'm giving this lady green eyes. The color I'm using here is called Eucalyptus. I'm done with the acrylic paints now, and I grab my favorite colored pencils, the Polychromos by Faber-Castel, and start adding details. You will see me switching backwards and forwards between the colors until I'm happy and satisfied. Don't be afraid to use darker colors, it just adds depth. Very often if you keep it too light, it will just look flat. Now I know this part of the video is a little bit long, but I just want to show you that it takes some time to build up layers until you have the satisfied depth. You can always go over and make it darker, but it's not so easy to make it lighter again. Let me zoom in to show you the details of the eyes. A lot of the iris is actually covered by a drop shadow. And here I'm adding some more details to the mouth. With Posca markers in white, I'm adding shiny white highlights. I think I'm happy with the face now, so let's move on to what she's wearing. I'm using Inktense blocks again to add blue color. I'm basically repeating some of the color that is in the background to tie it all in together. With grey lead pencil I have added my quote and I'm now tracing that with a black marker. I'm thickening some of the lines to give it a fake calligraphy look. I'm adding my date stamp and I call this one done. I truly hope you have enjoyed watching this video. If so, please give it a thumbs up. I see you next time. Until then, happy arting!